It was raining that night, the kind of heavy, cold rain that feels like punishment from the heavens. My blood was warm against the pavement, mixing with the water until it ran in crimson streams down the cracked asphalt. Sirens were nowhere to be heard. My radio was smashed, my vision blurring fast. I remember whispering, "Please, not like this." I had been shot, alone, abandoned, and my life was slipping away in the dark until headlights appeared. A rusty blue pickup truck screeched to a halt beside me. A man jumped out, tall, rugged, eyes filled with panic and something else, compassion. He was holding a child's pink jacket in one hand. "Hey, stay with me. Please. Hey, can you hear me?" I wanted to answer, but everything went black before I could speak. When I woke up hours later, I wasn't in a hospital. I was in someone's home, a stranger's. A little girl sat beside me, her tiny fingers gripping mine. And that's when I realized the man who saved me was a single father. I didn't know it then, but that night would change both our lives forever and unravel a secret so deep it would shake the entire police force to its core. I'll never forget the sound of my own breath as I fought to stay alive that night. Every inhale burned. Every exhale felt like it might be my last. I'd been on an undercover operation, chasing down a human trafficking ring that had already claimed too many innocent girls. It was supposed to be routine surveillance. It turned into an ambush. They knew my name, my badge number, and they wanted me dead. When that bullet tore through my side, I remember thinking about my mother, the way she told me years ago, "Don't bring your work home, baby." But when your work involves saving lives, home becomes a distant dream. The man who found me, later I'd learn his name was Ethan Cole, was driving home from his night shift at the auto shop. His daughter, Lila, was asleep in the back seat. He said he almost didn't stop. He thought I was gone already, but something told him to check. "I just couldn't drive away," he said quietly when I asked him why. He'd risked everything, carrying me, bleeding and unconscious, into his truck, driving for miles while whispering to his daughter, "It's okay, baby, Daddy's just helping someone." When I woke in his small, dimly lit living room, my side stitched crudely, the smell of antiseptic thick in the air, I was angry. I needed to call for backup, report the attack, alert my unit. But my phone was gone, and Ethan told me something that froze my blood. "Someone came looking for you last night." "Who?" I rasped. He hesitated. "They said they were cops, but they didn't act like cops." That's when I knew I couldn't trust anyone. Ethan wasn't just some good Samaritan. There was something in the way he looked at me, cautious, calculating, like he was piecing together a puzzle only he could see. "You're not safe here," he finally said. "I've seen those men before." My pulse quickened. "Where?" He rubbed a hand over his face. "At the garage. A few weeks ago. They came asking questions about police vehicles, about a female officer named Reyes." That was my name. The realization hit me like a second bullet. This man wasn't just a bystander. He'd already been caught in the web of whatever operation had betrayed me. I tried to get up, but pain exploded through my ribs. He pressed a hand gently against my shoulder. "You move, you bleed out." I stared at him, torn between fear and gratitude. "Why are you helping me?" His jaw clenched. "Because once A cop saved my daughter's life, and I never got the chance to say thank you. Something inside me softened, just for a moment. But it didn't last, because outside, a car engine idled. Headlights cut across the thin curtains, and Ethan's expression changed from concern to terror. "They found you," he whispered. He killed the lights, grabbed his daughter, and motioned for silence. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my wound. Through the window, I saw them, men in plain clothes, moving with military precision. Not cops, mercenaries. One of them tapped a silencer against the window pane. Ethan slipped a revolver from his waistband, old, worn, but steady. He looked at me. "Can you shoot?" "I'm a cop," I said through gritted teeth. "I was born to." What followed was chaos, gunfire, glass shattering, Lila's frightened cries. I don't remember pulling the trigger, but when the smoke cleared, 2 of them were down. The rest fled into the night. Ethan was bleeding from a cut on his arm, but alive. I pressed my hand over my wound again, trembling. "They won't stop." He looked at me, eyes burning with quiet resolve. "Then we don't either." As dawn broke, I finally told Ethan the truth. I'd been investigating a covert police ring, officers who were selling classified information to traffickers. They were everywhere, in my department, in the dispatch office, even in internal affairs. The ambush hadn't been random. It had been an execution order. Ethan's jaw tightened. "And now you're the only one who can expose them." "Not the only one," I said softly. "You've seen their faces now. You're part of this." He sighed, rubbing his forehead. "I've got a daughter to protect." "I know," I whispered. "And so do I. Every girl they take, she's someone's daughter." That was the moment he made his decision. We set a plan. Ethan would use his garage security footage, showing those fake cops visiting before the attack, as leverage. I'd reach out to one last ally, Sergeant Mason, a friend I still believed was clean. But when Mason showed up at the safe house, I realized how wrong I was. He wasn't there to save me. He was there to finish the job. I saw his gun before he could draw it. "You were the leak," I said, voice trembling with fury. "You sold us out." He smirked. "You should have stayed dead, Reyes." The next moments were a blur. Ethan burst in, slammed Mason into the wall, and the shot that followed echoed like thunder. When it was over, Mason was down, handcuffed and bleeding. And for the first time in months, I felt the crushing weight of justice returning. When the truth came out, it rocked the entire department. Half the unit was suspended, 3 top officials arrested. The commissioner himself made a public apology, but I wasn't there to see it. I was recovering, in the same small house where Ethan had saved my life. Lila colored quietly beside my hospital bed, humming a soft tune. "Daddy says you're a hero," she whispered. I smiled faintly. "Your daddy's the hero, sweetheart." Weeks later, when I was strong enough to walk again, I found a small note folded on my nightstand. Ethan had written it. "You saved me too. E." Now, every time I put on my badge, I think of that night, the rain, the pain, the fear, and the man who proved that heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they drive old blue trucks and just refuse to look away. And sometimes saving a life is the start of saving yourself.